Hey guys. Okay. So, first of all, I just want to thank you so much for the people who came yesterday. It really, really, really meant a lot to me. The reason why I'm making this video, is that since our life went really late last night, I wasn't actually able to give my speech, and a few people asked me if I could post a little speech online just so they could hear what I had to say. So, if you want to listen, you can listen. If not, it's all good. Okay. So, one of the things, sorry, I have it written down. Um, One of my biggest things is that a true leader is someone who leads without being watched. And, okay, that sounds kind of ridiculous, but basically I was in choir this year, and I was an officer, and I was talking to my choir teacher, and I said, okay, like, who are the officers next year? Like, have you chosen anything? Do you know? And he told me that he was going to look and watch how people acted when they didn't know they were being watched. And I asked him, I said, well, do you have anyone in mind? Like, do you know who you want to choose? And basically what he told me is that he wanted to see who shined through and whose character shined and just the way people acted when they didn't think that they were going to get a reward or that someone was watching them and that they could get something out of it. It was the people who really were passionate and cared, and that was what was going to be shown to him. And that really made me think about BBYO and the fact that when you're a board position or just a leader in general, people sometimes think that they're obligated to be a certain way, but I think some of the best kind of leaders are the ones who lead by example, but they're not doing it to get attention, they're doing it because that's their character. And I think one of the things that you need to remind yourself and to remain a person who really does care about what you do and is passionate and would do the same thing if someone was watching you or if someone wasn't watching you. So that was one of the things that I realized about people I know. I think a big thing is to do what you love and love what you do. I think some people think that you have to be a specific board position to love BBYO, or that there are so many things that you have to do in order to be successful in BBYO. But I think that one of the things with me personally is that I came because I fell in love with the people, and I think that the people are the ones who you don't forget. You don't forget memories, but you don't forget the people. And I think that you can love a program that you planned or an event that you planned, but that does not compare to the people involved. I think we need to remember sometimes that position is just a title, but it's what you make of it that brings the passion. You should go out of your comfort zone and be creative and just love what you do, and that's what's going to get people involved, not because you feel obligated to go to an event since you're a specific board position. I think one of the things also about BBYO is that the beauty is that we can inspire people just as much as we can be inspired, and I don't think you should go in thinking that you need to inspire people. I think you should let yourself be inspired by moments and memories, and I think that will take you just as far. For many of you guys who know, I ran for regional shikha and I lost. During that time, honestly, I didn't know what I was going to do with BBYO. I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I know that sounds ridiculous, but sometimes when you lose, it takes a lot for you to get back up, and it made me realize that losing can either hurt you or make you stronger, and I definitely think it made me stronger, because I didn't want to be that person to walk away and to quit, because I've seen some of the people who I looked up to who didn't stay, and that just broke my heart, and I never wanted to be that person. So I think BBYO should never also, it shouldn't be a checklist. Like, you shouldn't be doing it because you just want to get one more thing on your resume or your college application or anything like that. Because if you think about it, I think one of the biggest things that I learned is that you have to lose before you can win, just like you need to experience the bad times to make the good times unforgettable. And I was thinking about it, and like a lot of us, we think about college, like whatever, and I thought about when you think about a college essay, it doesn't say really about what are the stuff you've done, like what was all the successful things you've done, like name a good time you spent with someone. It's what was something you had to overcome, when was the time that you dealt with failure, and how did it make you stronger. And I think that's saying that if we didn't fail, we didn't know what it would be like to succeed. And that's why in BBYO, just because something doesn't go your way or doesn't go right, that doesn't mean it's wrong. It means that you have something else going for you that could be that much better. And in the end of the day, you're not going to forget the bad times. You're going to remember that because it's like a roller coaster. You're down, and then when you're up, you find your true passion. That makes you find yourself. It really does. Another one of the things that I learned is that you just need to let things play out. I'm someone, shocker, who likes to plan out my day, and, well, I like to plan out, like, my marriage, like, just, like, who I used to, like, want to go for at Jewish dances, and, like, I don't know. I was always that girl who just planned. And I realized that when you plan things, you get these expectations that may never be what you want them to be because you just are never satisfied with the results because you have an expectation that may never be met. And I think you just have to let things play out. I'm a strong believer that everything happens for a reason, and I really think that that's, with me, is that because I lost, I won so much. I really did. Because I had to find myself. I had to find what would keep me going, and honestly, the people that kept me going were the younger members. It was my best friends, obviously my age, and it was the people who I looked to that were older, who I didn't want to be the person to leave. I want to be the person who stayed. That's what I want to be remembered for. I think another thing that I want to talk about is you hear these lines like, BBYO, find yourself here, or BBYO changes you, let it. And honestly, I can say without a doubt that BBYO, it definitely changed me. If you ask people what I was like before BBYO, they will tell you that, yeah, I was outgoing and sang all the time and was just loud, like classic Molly. But I learned the beauty of friendship and leadership and how to let yourself be heard. Because that's what BBYO does. It lets yourself be heard in so many ways that in any other group of people you would never expect to be able to share stuff like that. Like, if you think about it, some of the people that you know may never been your friend. You would never met them in your lifetime, but they're such a big part of your life now that you can't even imagine not having them in it. And I think that's what's so cool about BBYO is that we all come from different groups of people. We're very different people. We live in different areas of the Bay. Some people are shy. Some people are loud. But because we're Jewish, we have something special. We already have that common bond that brings us together that really you can't explain, but you can't live without. And that's why I realized that BBYO, it doesn't make you different. It brings out who you really are. And that's through growth. And it's through the people. And it's through the memories. And the times that you just can't take back. Because at this point, I will not be in BBYO, but I will never forget the people who changed me. And I don't know. It's hard to make this because it means that it's goodbye. But to the younger members, it's not goodbye. It's just see you later. Because I don't want it to be like that way. I don't want it to be like, oh, she's graduated, she's gone. I will always care. Because you guys are the reasons why I stayed at BBYO. I wanted to meet new people and I wanted to be something to someone. And my goal was, if I can inspire one person by the end of my year, then I did something right. So, what I'm trying to say is, above all else, choose happiness. If you're not happy, then no matter what you do in life, you're not going to be satisfied. Because happiness isn't something that you do or you say, it's how you feel. So, when you're in BBYO and you want to give up, don't. Because think of all the things that you've made and all the people you've met that, in the end of the day, you wouldn't have had. So, never forget who you are and where you came from, but never, ever, ever forget to choose happiness. Thank you for watching, if you watch. I love you all. I'm going to miss you, and